Hey, how you doing?
Oh,
We want to try that countdown again.
hey everybody! Welcome to CB and the Boys. I'm CB and got the whole crew in. We got a great show for you tonight. So, without further ado, George, all the beautiful people.
Wow.
Welcome to CB and the Boys with Crystal CB Booker, George Spiker Boy Holman, Roger Hawkins, and Mimi Acosta. Coming live and direct from YouTube, Facebook, iHeartRadio, Blog Talk Radio, and Apple Podcasts. Bringing you hot topics, interviews, live entertainment, and fun every Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. And now, prepare to get charged up with a whole lot of fun from CB and the Boys.
Whoa! And we're back. All right. Is everybody feeling good? Yes. All right. So first off,
Absolutely. What's up, Trey? In the house
Trey.
already?
So first off, we want to send our condolences out to the family of the late great Irene Cara. Rest in peace. She was a great lady, talented. The cause of death is still unknown, but she was doing big things. She just started her new podcast talking about the backstory with Irene Cara. So this is totally a surprise, and I think it's a big surprise for her family as well. So let's just send our prayers and our thoughts to them and condolences.
Yes.
So, how is everyone tonight? This is Wednesday. We've been gone for a while. Happy Thanksgiving. Konnichiwa. Hola. ¿Cómo está? How is everybody doing tonight?
Look, first of all, can we just get my segment going? Just like
Oh, you're killing me.
I'm here playing with my ice in my drink. I can't do this for long.
We got you. Roll it, George.
Can't do yours first. George, roll that tape.
It's Mimi's drink special. Mimi, let them know what you're sipping on.
So, guys, tonight I am sipping on a mango margarita. I always do this when I'm not trying to do anything too heavy because I'm trying to get into the whole little. Okay, I don't know why he put himself on timeout, but that's really okay by me. He's probably going to get his drink, and that's all right. So go ahead and get your drink, partner. So I got mine. As you guys know, I always do mine with my red straw and my ice. So yes. Don't look at my nails. I haven't done my nails, and I'm not going to do them for another couple weeks.
They look fine.
But yes, it is so good. So sis, what are you over there drinking?
I'm drinking Smirnoff Ice Screwdriver in the 40.
Okay. Enjoy that. I see we on that yellow, that we on that gold night thing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's enjoy it. And I see my boy Trey over there. He's got his 24-pack of Pepsi, baby. Go ahead. Watch that sugar, Trey. Because I'm over here trying to wean myself out of drinking Coke and 3 and 4 cans a day. So work it out and either make a diet or get rid of it. Let's work that out. Yeah. But you're doing really good, Trey, so I'm really proud of you. So if you're slowly weaning yourself out of things like Pepsi, then more power to you. But you said you got a whole 24-pack. So you ought to be done in the next 30 days with that 124-pack. One a day. Hopefully. So I don't know where my boy George disappeared to. He's going to probably bring me a surprise drink. I don't know.
Yeah, George is probably drinking.
We got our Roger. He's a little bit lost in the building, but when he catches up to our flow, he will be in here with us. He will be here with us.
And JJ is with us. Hey, JJ.
Hey, JJ.
How are you?
I didn't even see that. The holidays was good. My brother took me to eat some Santo Domingan food, Dominican Republic. So I had me some pigeon peas and rice with some stew meat and some plantain. Honey, that thing was awesome. And then we got plates to come home with, so you already know I ate like a peon. But it was good. Now I'm working stuff off. Now I'm trying to wean myself back, you know?
I'm glad you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. My
I
Thanksgiving was good too. We had food and it was good. Went over to my good friend Pinky. She's a good friend of the show. And she invited us over, so it was fun. She can cook. And I had the best pecan pie. Her mother-in-law made the best pecan pie, I can honestly say.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Nice. Very nice. So I guess we're working all that off. And Trey is over there running his mouth, bragging about drinking 3 Pepsis today. Yo, look. We're going to have to put Trey in punishment.
There you go. So how are we doing with our fitness, where we're trying to get fit? I can do 2 push-ups now, so I'm proud of myself. Yes.
Okay. So wait, we got to rewind just a little bit. George, what you over there drinking?
H2O.
You had to get in with the water.
It was an H2O day.
You know what? It really is, since we're talking about fitness just a little bit. We ain't trying to take over Roger's spot. We're just talking about
I got plenty.
Us eat. Oh, wow.
I got plenty.
Well, I'm with you too.
Wow.
I'm with you too. I ain't gonna lie. We hydrating, right?
I got water too.
Oh, look, I'm proud of you. Hey, I see my boy is in the building. What's up, Roger?
Hey, Rod.
We need respects for the late people.
Whoa.
Why y'all talking about hydrating?
Because we were talking about eating all this Thanksgiving stuff. Roger, how was your Thanksgiving?
Hey, mine was fantastical. I mean, I kept it, I laid back and chilled, did a little bit, but not too much. Everybody cool?
Yep, everybody good. What you drinking?
You already know. I got something for you. What up, family? I got a little bit of a mix. A little mix I got going on here. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna have to get my lighting here. But I'm doing some I got a little pomegranate
at a bar.
I got a bar. I got a little pomegranate gin liqueur, and it's called pomegranate and rose, Dr. Brambles. I like the small batch action, and I'm gonna mix that with a little bit of the peach red bully. So you know how I get down. I gotta keep it interesting. So I'm about to. I mix it up a little bit. So
I like the sound of that. JJ,
yeah, I'm going rouge color today. Mix it up a little bit. So
hey, Rod, I can do 2 push-ups now.
You can do 2 push-ups now. Now, see there? Hey, that's progress right there. We talking about. You know what? Before I even get into my thing, I know y'all messing around, but I was gonna say I had something, but before that, I wanted to check with everybody and see who was actually doing it. We haven't chatted in a couple of weeks, so I was like, you know what? I want to peep it and see what people's progress is, because I haven't really gotten to do any accountability, reports and all that. So, but that's what's up though. I dig it for real. Like, no joke. It's difficult. So if you made it from 0 to 2 or 0 to 1 or whatever, if nobody else is proud of you, I am, because that's a big step, for real.
Well, I think a big step too is dressing in the part. I dressed in the part like I was going to work out, but
if you dressed in the park, I mean, that can go a whole lot of ways. I mean, did you?
No.
Art, not art.
Oh, I thought you said you dressed in the park. I'm like, hey, look,
I did too. I'm like, wait a minute.
I ain't judging nobody. I just want to know.
Get your filthy minds out the gutter.
Shit, I will not.
I mean, first of all, that had to be kind of cold. But
no, I said I dressed for the part, but no, I didn't. So what I have done, which is for me, is I have cut back on the amount that I've been eating.
Okay.
So if I have a big plate for lunch, I'm busting it down between lunch and dinner, and drinking more water than anything else, and cut back a little bit on the Coke. But if the water runs out, then the Coke takes over. So But I am cutting back on all that stuff,
Hey,
and I
but
can
you know what?
see a little difference, a little bit at a time.
Baby steps, real talk, baby
Yeah,
steps.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean that's real. Like I said, I know, a lot of times people get to, they say they're gonna jump in and do their thing, and then they don't. So I was wondering who was gonna throw it out there, because I know I was, regardless of whether y'all are ready or not. I'm like, hey, who's doing it? Who's doing it? So
right.
mhm,
Yeah, and I'm being a little bit careful too, because I think what's happening with me, since I was in my accident, I had my accident in June. I
okay,
think what happened is while I was going through therapy, I was taking all that medication through
right,
therapy. And then they actually put me on the medication 30 days after the therapy and had me like, doing little workouts and stuff from home, like, just let us know how you feel in the next 30 days. Well, it's been a month since. And what happened is, I guess because I haven't really been doing a whole lot, everything locks up a little bit. So things just start to hurt, things start to get bad because I no longer have
right.
the drugs to mask the pain.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to feel that left hip and left back and all that stuff starting to like, you know, act up all over again. So it's not good. It's a little painful, but I'm working it out little bit by little bit.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you gotta. I mean, it's tough a lot of times, but we absolutely have to kind of. And again, not being, they go, is it pain or is it injury? But you kind of have to know what you can push through and whatnot. It's easy to be like, oh, it hurts today, so I'm going to take a day off. That's kind of not what you want to do. Once you're
Right.
kind of once you're done healing as it is, then you can move into starting to recover and strengthen, which is difficult. It's not always easy because it hurts, but eventually, as you
Yes.
get stronger, what happens is it it will eventually stop hurting. And so
Yes.
that's kind of where that is. Mhm.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Trey. Yes, I am. I'm going to do it slow, one day at a time. I know that, that I need to do. But anyway, we're going to scale back a little bit because I know that we jumped into fitness stuff because of water and all that good stuff. But we got a 411 list for
Let's get it.
y'all
Let's get it.
tonight. And everybody's got a little bit of 411. So I'm going to go first with my little 411. And I think I'm going to start out with this little dude, 22 years old, from Houston. His name is Antonio A.J. Armstrong Jr. He is being tried for capital murder for the third time in connection with the death of both his parents 6 years ago when he was 16 years old. He shot them both in the head while they were asleep. His dad, who is Armstrong Sr., he played football with the Texas A&M and Miami Dolphins. And he
Wow.
coached both of the guys. He coached both of the brothers when they were younger as well. So the family is strongly supporting Lil Dude. He's 22 now. And the couple actually, they own the training facility and they also serve the ministry together. And so I don't know exactly what happened in this case as far as like what took this little boy like into this, department. And sometimes I wonder if sometimes parents, because his father played football and because the father coached them as well from younger coming up, if the father was probably so hard on the son that the son probably just flipped out. Like, I don't know the backstory to what led something like this to happen, but I see it happening a whole lot now
Right.
with kids that are flipping on parents.
Right. And that is pretty interesting. You hear about that. We all know that person who was like, oh man, he should have gone pro, but he didn't, and you wonder why he didn't. Is because he actually got burned out, he or she. But
Right.
it's a lot of times with the fathers and the sons, they get burned out so quickly
Hmm.
because it's like, well, not quickly. I mean, if you're in grade school 13 years, then you go to
Hmm.
college, it's 3 or 4 years, and I mean, that's a lot of time to do anything, and you haven't signed a contract yet. By the time these cats get to be 19, 20, they're about to lose it. And if you
Yes.
have a father in particular who's coaching you and he's hard on you and he's kind of living vicariously through you, I've seen it happen. I've seen guys fizzle out that probably could have been the real deal, but they fizzled
Yeah.
out because they couldn't handle the pressure of what their father or parents or coaches or whoever was putting on them, and then they do just snap. And I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I hate to hear that, but damn, I don't ever, I push my kids in terms of not letting them quit, but I would hope they would never want to be like, man, I'm gonna end this dude, when he goes to sleep because he made me run 2 more laps or whatever. Like, I don't ever want it to be like that. You know what I mean? So, or what,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It is super crazy. So, moving right along, I know that everybody here has 411 tips tonight, and I did see a video that was submitted in the chat earlier in the week. I think Roger submitted the video in reference to, or Crystal did, I think, in reference to the guy who was talking about paying the bills because the female was like, it was one of those things where it's like she's trying to get attention, but he's
Mhm.
like, he's not into that hee hee ha ha lovey dovey crap. He's
Yeah.
more into like,
Oh
let me just
yeah,
pay the
yeah,
bills
yeah.
and keep it pushing. And I
Yeah.
was just like, do you not understand that, the lovey dovey hee hee ha ha is like what makes the relationship? You want to have those moments versus just let me just pay the bills and keep it trucking because I'm out here hustling and that's all you're going to do. How do you guys feel about that?
Huh. Well, I mean,
For
Crystal?
yeah,
me, I'm
huh?
with the husband on it because one, it's important. All bills are paid. I mean, if I had a guy and he paid all my bills and we were in love, but if he, was instrumental in doing all of that and proactive, he wouldn't hear me complain at all.
Okay, so
If
what
I
if
wouldn't
what
say
if
so.
he's not giving you the attention that you need while all he wants to do is just pay bills and keep running the streets? Don't you think that eventually that's going to get, I mean, okay, fine, let's pay the bills, let's do that because we got to do that.
Mhm.
But you're not receiving that love and that attention and that, quality time.
Well, if he's giving me money, I can like go off for myself and have a lark. He doesn't have to be there. That's like taking a honeymoon without a husband. It's like taking the bridesmaid with you on a honeymoon. But it's no different.
I,
So,
I, I,
so
I don't know that it would. You think it would, but do you think it would happen that way? I mean, as a guy, like I can ask George the same thing. I mean, we're both guys, and you go, okay, supposedly, that's just historically we're supposed to, we're supposed to take care, provide, etc., protect, etc.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be. You're just roommates at that point. Now, truly, I think most guys would appreciate the fact that you're not clingy and hanging all on them because some people are like that. Some people are just, oh, talk to me, do that, And so it's like anything. It's a happy medium. But I think zero can't compete, can't work with 100. So like I would tell somebody, if you ever dated somebody, one of you is always like on 10, and one of
Hmm.
you is always on 2. It's difficult. You try to meet in the middle. And again, I've been there. I know exactly what that's like. Some things we're not about like that. But
Right,
obviously, I think if you have someone who's doing all of that, you may want to show appreciation in some other way. Now,
right,
but it doesn't mean stay in their face and do that because again, guys require space, peace, and distance, not all up in our face. We're not like that. So oftentimes that causes a problem and a disconnect with ladies because a lot of women are a lot more in your personal space, touchy feely things like that. So it's kind of, I mean, it's just one of those. It depends on who you're dealing with. So yes, it
right.
does help to it helps to kind of hash that out. I don't think we would get that far into the relationship without knowing that though either.
but that's what I was gonna say. Like she knew how he was when they were dating, and she probably enjoyed getting her bills paid, and so he put a ring on it. So
Well,
my thing is this: why do you expect things to be different? He showed you who he was. So
agreed,
why did
agreed.
you expect things to be different just because he put a ring on it? I
I
think his gesture, I think he's more the type where he shows you how he feels more than just the lovey-dovey,
that
kissy
part.
kissy type crap. He put a
Right.
ring on it. He didn't have to put a ring on it. He could have kept things the way they were.
Well, now, but did it say that they were married or no, or did it just say that he
No,
paid all
it
the
didn't say he was married. It just said that he pays the
bills?
bills
Okay, so
and
that
They
she
were
just,
that's a good.
married because they were at the divorce court. That's where the
oh,
video
that's
came
what
Was
that
that what it
was.
from.
It
was?
was divorce court. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough, fair enough.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think that should be. Well, here's the thing: you don't really know anybody for a long time. We can be with people for a long time, but you still learn stuff 10 years in and all that. So don't get me wrong. Everybody has a particular game face and a particular time frame. Statute of limitations on their game face.
Hmm.
But I do feel like you should kind of have some idea of who you're dealing with
Right.
long before that happens. And if we're going to be in that situation, it comes down to what they require. If he's paying all the bills and he just wants peace and to be left alone and she can do that, cool. If he
Hmm.
needs more than that, also cool because that could turn into, CB was like, if he's just paying my bills, cool, but that's more of a maintenance man, pimping / it's not really a part.
Yeah.
If the person, if that's what he likes, fine. But I don't think anybody likes to be ignored. And he did men need acknowledgement the same way women need food, water, and compliments. We need.
She talking about if he gonna give me money.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, you at least gotta, high five him or something. It ain't just hey, thanks.
He could go outside and do all he wants as long as he paid my damn bills. I can pick up in here and give me some toys.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Look.
But the thing is, I'm talking about him in particular. Like she knew, like I said, she knew who he was, and now she wants to complain because he's not giving her time. But the important thing is he could be working and making money to build for their future. So you make sacrifices in the beginning. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think again, it's all about that. It's all about being honest. A lot of people refuse to be honest and transparent in the beginning because a lot of people wouldn't end up with who they're with because people don't really like the real you. They like your representative. So, right. I mean, she could have. Who knows? They both could have. Told a little bit of some lies in the beginning. I don't know. Interesting though. Interesting.
Richard Smith. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see. Married and divorced, paid every bill, gave her housewife status, and she cheated because I didn't spend enough time with her. But that time was needed to make her comfortable. See? That's what happened.
Proof it positive. It doesn't matter who or what. There will always be a situation where, in this gentleman's case, he felt like he probably gave her every comfort, opportunity, et cetera, and instead of being grateful, she was like, well, I'm comfortable, I'm probably bored, there's probably a lot more to it. And what does she do? And again, I can't judge based on I don't know her, but if what he's saying is true, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Right. George knows. Oh, shit.
What you got, G? What you got?
Okay. George knows something about that whole Richard Smith situation. I don't know. Richard getting a little spicy over here, talking a little shit. Let's see. Big Rich was okay. There's a relationship up in there. Okay. Big Rich, what up?
Nah, that's one of my homeboys.
Okay, that's what's up.
Thanks for jumping in tonight. Thanks for jumping in. Coming to see you.
Thank you so much, George. I know you got some 411. Let's go.
What he popping?
Oh man, I just got a couple crazy videos here that I've seen that some incidents, some things that's happened. This is wild stuff. Check this out.
All 411. Let's go.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Kitten when they made an unusual discovery at New York's JFK airport. Inside a checked suitcase, they found an orange cat. You can see its red silhouette in the x-ray. The passenger said he didn't know it was in there and it belonged to his roommate. Well, a TSA official joked, on the bright side, the cat's out of the bag and safely back home.
How do you tell someone I get you?
Well, how do you not know you got a cat in your suitcase in the airport?
Somebody, the roommate must have did that prank because ain't no way in hell that cat was going to get in the bag and zip itself up like,
Ain't no way in hell that cat's going to be quiet in that bag. Dude, can you imagine? It's hot. You can barely breathe. You're not going to just be calmly.
You made it all the way from the house to the airport and didn't know it was a cat in the bag?
Yeah, come on with all that. I'm not buying that shit. I'm not buying that for a second.
I'm not trying to pull the race card because we don't know what nationality these cats are. But all I'm saying is
they're orange.
I'm not talking about the orange cat. I'm talking about the owners and a roommate. I'm just saying, had it been. Let's go.
No.
Oh, this one's kind of sad here. This is jacked up.
Tonight, we're hearing from people who were inside the club when the gunman opened fire, killing 5 and injuring 18 others. For the first time, retired Army Major Richard Fierro is speaking out. He's being hailed as a hero after tackling the gunman and holding him until police arrived. President Biden called Fierro to thank him for his bravery and his instinct to act. Fierro isn't the only hero. Another patron kicked the gunman in the head. And we're learning more about the condition of the suspect, Anderson Lee Aldrich. The 22-year-old is allegedly not cooperating with police. CBS's Janet Chamlin will start us off tonight from Colorado Springs. Good evening, Janet.
Nora, good evening. 5 lives lost, but tonight, so many more saved. Thanks to that Army veteran who told us his story, how it was simply instinct for him to put himself in harm's way for the safety of others. Richard Fierro never expected a war zone would follow him home.
I wasn't thinking. I just ran over there, got him. I got to kill this guy. He's going to kill my kid. He's going to kill my wife.
The Army veteran, awarded 2 Bronze Stars, was at Club Q with his wife, daughter, and her boyfriend when the gunman started firing.
It's the reflex. Go. Go to the fire. Stop the action. Stop the activity. Don't let no one get hurt.
Fierro says he grabbed the suspect by his body armor and threw him to the ground.
I'm a big dude, man, and this guy was bigger. And I just kept wailing on him.
It was too late, though, to save his daughter's boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, among the 5 people who died. As the community comes to terms with the tragedy, new details on 22-year-old suspect Anderson Lee Aldrich. Authorities tonight say he is out of the hospital and in the county jail. He was known as Nicholas Brink until age 15 when he changed his name. The Washington Post reporting the action came after he'd been viciously bullied online. Aldrich was arrested for an alleged bomb threat last year, but never prosecuted.
I don't know if I'm just not ready to process or if the shock is still there because it comes in waves.
These are photos of Jericho Lovell inside Club Q just before he was shot in the leg Saturday night. The father of 3 children says he's grateful to have come home to them, yet full of despair.
What will Thanksgiving mean to you this year?
There's a lot more to be thankful for now than it brings a new reality to how short life really can be and how evil this world really can be.
Jericho says he's...
Wow.
Yeah, this just happened right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy. Crazy. We just.
That's interesting that that guy was at that club with his like whole family, but okay.
Right.
It was. I mean, look, I don't know. It is what it is. It was a little weird, but okay.
Right.
I mean, the thing about it too is that did you guys hear? Was it okay? So was this the incident where the dad came and the dad was like, well, I'm glad he's not gay. He was more concerned about the son. That's not. It's a different case. It's a totally different case. Okay.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. Well.
But no, that was crazy because dude was just, I mean, he was really bigging himself up though. Yep, I was just gonna jump in there and I'm a big guy. He's a big guy. I'm like, dude, it's like this your big break or some shit. That was kind of buffoonery. But I mean,
right.
Dude, but I was like, no. I don't need you to tell me I'm a hero. I'm a hero. Listen, my first idea was jump in there, get in harm's way. Yeah, you expect to go to LBGTQ XYZ fucking club and have that shit pop off? You knew that was gonna happen? Like that was weird. But anyway, I'm glad he did what he did. Hang out, do your thing. He's a strange cat, but
definitely that.
But again, see, people are just listening to that voice in their head. They just like you used to not do that. Now they're like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'll just do it. That's weird, man. That's killing me, but
of course, and look at what the news reporter said. He did it after being bullied online. He just snapped. He just had a moment, and he just snapped.
But see, I think again, it's a different level. We understood quote unquote bullying and things like that growing up. You saw you had to be tough and make it through the hood. I'll be honest with you. I think cyberbullying is so much. It can be so much worse because it's not just 1 or 2 people in your neighborhood. It's thousands chiming in. Right. But I also feel like these people do not have the fortitude to just turn the shit off. Like you would think the easiest way to do it is be like, you know what? Close laptop. They can't do it. They can't. So
I tell people all the time, I control this end of the phone.
They are constantly connected though, and they can't put it down. What if I put it down and a bunch of people comment? What if everybody says it? Yeah. And so then
and they don't know how to disengage.
Right. And so then it sends them over the edge. Like nothing like that would send me over the edge. Guess what? Click, done. I mean, but now it's like you open it up, you read comments, and the more people that listen, you want to know why they say the internet's undefeated? Because you got hundreds of thousands of people giving their quick little comments and all this other shit. So it's one of those you can't defeat that many people.
Right. Right. George, you have any more 411s over there?
Nope. Those
Oh,
were
you want
the
me to land? Okay.
interesting.
So
Look,
I have another one. I guess this is a little update on the situation in Mexico. So Dejanay Jackson was arrested by agents in reference to Shanquella Robinson's murder, okay, on the 29th in Mexico. So I guess they're bringing her back.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the others in this whole situation? Do you guys think that the others should have been arrested too?
Everybody
Hell yeah.
that is involved. Yes. Even the one filming, everybody who stood by, did nothing, knew that it was a setup from the beginning.
Yes.
From the beginning.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I feel really strong about that whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, one ain't enough, because there's going to be more is going to come down on that, and it's not going to be cool. So let me see. JJ said this guy's dad was also interviewed, and he said the same thing. He was glad that his son isn't gay. Okay, so yeah, that must have been the situation then. Okay, well, one of them at least.
Right. I mean, that's it's weird to me. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have your personal preference. I'm just trying to understand why that has to come out
right
in the wake of something like this. I'm glad my son isn't gay, but the shit still happened. So now what?
Right. Right.
But that old school type of thinking, and that stuff is so ingrained and entrenched in people's like almost very being. You can't make sense out of that. I wouldn't try. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. And okay, so moving right along, Roger, you submitted a video where this guy is laying in the bed, and apparently his girlfriend, for whatever reason, I don't know what she was going through, but she cut off this dude's probation, his little thingy off of his ankle.
It seemed legit, because she was like, look, she was like, I'm done. She was like, I'm through fooling with you, blah blah blah. I don't know if you had that video, but anyway,
that could not have been a prank. You cut off that bracelet, they coming.
Yeah, and like, did you see how like hopeless my guy looked? I mean, he looked like my life is over and done. My question to you is, what would you guys do if that was you, or if that was your brother, or somebody you care about?
I told you I do. When the when the police got there, I'll take the video and just be like, "Here you go." That's what happened.
Right. That's exactly what happened.
Here you go.
See, that's good. That's good that you're that level-headed, George, because I know me, and I probably.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up, Roger.
I would laugh because he be going.
You as a sibling to this guy, or you as the person who's being done to?
Yes.
You got to tell me which one you're talking about here.
Yes. See it. If you're going to look, if you railroad me or my brother or anyone else. Now, again, George's, calmer heads prevailed. And so he mentioned that, I would take the video. But so that's kind of the easy route. But let's say there isn't a video.
Right.
I don't know if this was this gentleman's third strike. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Depending on the situation, you still don't want to, break your probation and all that kind of thing. But my thought is, if I thought that like there was no video, for instance, and she did that, and I knew I was going down and I was going for life, she's going out that window, dog. Like I said, I'm going in for an L anyway.
That's what I get. That's what I was going to say. I would beat her ass right there.
I would earn it. I would 100% earn
the police show up.
If it's like, you got to go back for 18 months or whatever, I'd get even another way. But what if that was strike 3, and she was like,
these
I'm
are the family members that you guys might or might not.
She's out the window. I'm throwing for distance and for style points. I'm tossing your ass. But if it's a way to show and be exonerated on that whole thing, then I would just find one of my girl cousins or get somebody to beat her ass later on down the road. It's all good.
You know what kills me? You know what kills me though?
Yeah.
Why do people keep doing all this dumbass shit on social media? I mean, you killing your. Why would you cut this thing off and then videotape it for the whole world to see?
Exactly. I think that nothing's gonna happen.
Then a dumbass probably go into court. I didn't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, why do you? I don't understand. they use the social media and incriminate themselves all the time.
That part.
Okay, so moving right
They
along,
don't
I got a
take
hot
that
one.
thing.
This is one for this is one for Louisiana. So, an ex-priest pleads guilty to a felony count of obscenity after filming a threesome on a church altar. This happened on Louisiana on September the 30th in 2020. The parishioner observed the lights in the inside of St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church at about 11 p.m. He peeped through the window and saw the group performing in a threesome. What's going on in these churches, man? They were filming. They were like, you know what? We're gonna do this movie scene.
Honestly, what's going? You know what? Hey, I tell people all the time, camera phones has been the downfall of so many.
America.
So many. Well, especially when that kind of thing comes into play. I mean, it's really just exposing what's always going on. See, I hate to do that to people, but my good church folk, and I'm not saying it's all or none, but I'm just saying it's amazing what you find out. Not even find out. It's amazing what has been covered up because people have loyalty. And then you
Right.
start to see, guess what? These are just people. They're human beings that are performing a job. And guess what? How many times do you hear about teachers getting in trouble? How many times police get in trouble? How many times factory workers get in trouble?
Right.
I'm sorry, a minister is just another person performing a job. We just hold them to a higher standard. And I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we do.
Yeah.
And therefore, some people are just super shocked, like, huh, huh, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, all right, he's a man, shitty P, standing up. He wakes up and thinks the same things we do. And
Right.
it just, when you see that kind of thing, you're supposed to take a higher plane, and and it doesn't always happen. But he's mad he wasn't invited. That's what it was. He was gonna blackmail somebody. He didn't get the invite.
He probably did blackmail somebody, and ain't nobody did nothing about it. So, ta-da.
Well, it's already but he got popped filming, so now what? I mean,
Right.
I don't know. It's like,
It's
you know,
terrible.
yeah. What's the point of that? That's ridiculous. So
Okay, so Kanye West and Kim Kardashian got their divorce finalized. Doot, doot, bells and whistles. Kanye has to pay $200,000 per month in child support, and he decided to give her the house. But then I guess a little bit later on, because it's been a couple of days now, he decided to keep the house in the divorce. But they're going to split the bills and security for the kids. And he was supposed to have given her the house, but I guess he decided not to. He's going to probably be a whole lot better off paying her $200,000 a month in child support.
Mm.
That's still not bad.
Shit. What do you mean not? All
That's
right.
epic.
That's what.
That's epic. That's epic for her because he's damn near close to probably a billionaire. I'm
No.
just saying. This is
Not
but
anymore.
you know what? I wouldn't say that.
I don't. Why? Okay, here's my question. Why is that epic? Why is that a good thing?
No. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm talking about him being able to keep the house because he could sell that house and the same millions that he bought it for, he could probably get way more, but I guess he's gonna keep it just to be what? Her neighbor from across the street still?
I don't know. I think that means nothing. I think it means nothing. Well, first of all, I have a hard time feeling bad for anybody who's wealthy, a celebrity, and chooses to get married. Sorry, I think that you're the stupidest person on the planet. So there's that. But
Get married in general, or just because of the level that they're at?
Yeah. Well, again, my thought process on that for men versus women is different. Just over the years, I mean, it just shows. But also, you look at how guys get done. I mean, that institution isn't made for us to win. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
I would 100% never advise my son to get married, but I would advise my daughters to. And if you understand the law and money, you'd understand why I say what I say. That being said, rich, are you out of your mind? Ain't no two ways in hell I'd ever get married if I was already very, very wealthy. Never, never. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Women are incentivized to actually leave. If you leave and if you have kids, you really ain't working. Now she's already multimillionaire. So, and again, these Hollywood marriages are they're
Those are contracts.
Yeah, they're orchestrated and all this other stuff. So maybe they've got some trust funds and prenups and things like that in play, because you can be awarded money but not necessarily pay it. You ever hear about that kind of stuff where
Yes.
people get awarded $2-3 million, but the person doesn't have it to give? So there's that.
Right.
I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, I think it's just, but again, I think the Kardashians are, to quote my boy, he said they're covering the witches anyway, which I really think is closer to the truth than people care to admit. So you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to let a Kardashian touch my wacky with a 10-foot.
Hey, Roger, what just happened to your mic? Your mic just dropped or something because you just went an octave lower.
I hit it. Sorry.
There you go.
But I hit it. See, Kardashians do that to you. But no, you couldn't pay me to do that. So more fool him. And again, people like to destroy Kanye anyway. But
Yeah. I think he's still a great rapper. I'm sorry. I just think he is. I take the personal away from people's talents when they're good and they're talented.
Okay.
And they're genius at the things that they do and how they do it. And I separate it. The personal shit is like, dude, what were you thinking? But on his talent,
right.
I gotta give it to him.
Can't be denied. I can respect that. I respect that because a lot of people refuse to do that. Oh, he's crazy. He's this. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. I think sometimes, people call Prince crazy, Michael crazy. They called a lot of people that were close to the mark crazy.
Right.
And then gone or something happened. People were like, maybe he was on something. They tried to make you think Chappelle was crazy. These people are all, they're all kind of in league with what they're saying. It may be worth listening to. Maybe.
No, he's demonstrated. He has demonstrated his insanity.
Have you seen and listened to everything all the way through? If you haven't, you're not entitled to that. You can be entitled to your opinion.
Yes, I have. He lost me when he said slavery was a choice. So you can't even justify his type of insanity. And we know that he has mental problems. We know this. He's admitted this. Kim Kardashian has admitted this.
Because I believe her fucking word on anything.
She was married to the man. That's all we have to go by. But the thing is, by his actions and his behavior, he has shown that he's unstable in some aspect. And you can't say that he hasn't.
I'm not saying he hasn't shown he's unstable, but I'm also saying that you cannot think. Look, they say all lies have a hint of truth. And if someone is trying to reiterate a story that's been handed down from more than one other individual, and these are credible individuals, you cannot then say this person's entirely batshit. I'm not saying that he's not wackadoo in his own way. What I am saying is that if you really, really pay attention to, his line of thinking and logic, sometimes, they like to make people appear crazy so that they can be discredited. I'm not saying everything he says is wrong. I'm not saying everything he says is right, but that's anybody walking the earth. I'm saying there are things that if you listen, these aren't original thoughts. He's reiterating what has been said year in and year out from different people in the industry. And that's why they're trying to really discredit him. What he does in his personal life, I don't care. But when he's talking about certain parts of the industry that he's been heavily involved in, more so than any of us, sometimes you do well to listen to the village idiot.
Yeah. Okay, so I got one more 411 before we move along.
Okay.
There is 4 Black women that are suing L'Oreal and other companies after claiming that the products caused them to develop uterine cancer. 3 out of 4 had hysterectomies, and 1 is only 28 years old.
Wow.
Now, I'm having an issue with everybody suing somebody for something and blaming it whether it's cancer, whether it's fibroids, whether it's whatever it is, whether it's diabetes. Now, all of a sudden, Camp Lejeune, just water everywhere. It's just, it's a whole lot. And I'm just like, really? Can the 4 of us just come together and go sue somebody in KC somewhere? What?
Probably.
What is going on out here?
Got a whole list. Let's do it.
And then one of them, she was doing her hair since she was 8 years old. They've been perming her hair.
Right.
So when you think about a lawsuit blaming getting your hair done for your uterine cancer, you got to go back to who your parents were perming your hair at the age of 8.
Right.
And why didn't you have issues from then? Now that you do, you want to blame it on L'Oreal.
Well, I think a lot of sisters have gone away from using those chemicals, perms, and things like that because it was disclosed a while ago that that's exactly what happened. So I agree with you, but I do think where some people are trying to find some fault is there wasn't adequate warning, or there wasn't
Right.
labels and things like that. So companies get sued all the time for that and settle out of court because somebody comes along. Think about it. McDonald's got sued for one dumbass idiot spilling hot coffee on herself.
Yes.
McDonald's got sued and had to pay.
Yes.
Last time I checked, nobody with a pulse doesn't know coffee's not hot. She still won. But think about this: America is the most.
Well, nowadays it might be cold coffee. You never know.
Well, nowadays, but back in the 80s, it wasn't. There was no such thing as
Right.
iced coffee in America. But
Right.
that's how this country is. We're very, very litigious. I mean, you guys remember years and years ago that burglar like broke into someone's house, fell on a knife, cut himself, sued the owner, won. Only in America, a la Don King. Only in America can you do that shit. You can't go anywhere else and do that. If you do that in anyone else's home, they take the knife that cut you and finish you off. So this is America, baby. This is just what we do.
Yeah.
I do think it's a bit much, but I also feel like this is kind of the animal that has been created. So yeah, now you got to put all these labels on there. You got to do all this other stuff. You just got to do it. You just have to do it.
I wanted to run along, but I have one more. I have one more because this one is stupid. It's stupid and it's bad, and it's gonna cause some shit. So
Yeah, I had a couple too. So
okay,
go ahead.
okay, good. So we're running to you as soon as we finish with this one.
Okay.
Starbucks employee was suspended after allegedly labeling a black woman's frappuccino with the word monkey. Did you guys hear about that?
Well, they do it all the time. It happens all the time.
No,
That
I
is,
agree with that.
I've never heard of that. I thought that was super nasty. And yeah, she
Yeah.
deserves to be suspended, fired.
Fired. Forget suspended. Fired.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
But they do it all the time. I mean, receipts have that on there. Everyone is brave when they get to hide behind a screen or receipt or a counter or a door. Everybody is a badass until you confront them, and then it's I'm going to call the police or I'm going to get the manager. So, I mean, what are you going to do? It happens. My thought is, when you find out that kind of thing, then it should be handled, swiftly. Yeah, I think that person should be fired amongst other things, but y'all know my answer for everything. I'm going to get out of that one day. But until then, let's talk about it somewhere else.
Yes. Crystal, what you got, babe?
Well, the first I have is that Danny Masterson, who was one of the stars of that 70s show, his rape trial that has been going on has been declared a mistrial. After two of the juries, they sent the jury home prior to Thanksgiving, so they had a lot of time on their hands. Not to mention, two of the jurors also tested positive for COVID just days ago. And the judge has declared it a mistrial.
Of course he did. He loved that show too a bit.
Okay.
Some people are citing that the Church of Scientology had something to do with it. We don't know. But he is a known Scientologist, so that could definitely have played a part.
Mm-hmm.
Also, our condolences go out to country singer known for Oklahoma Red Dirt, Jake Flint. He passed away. He was 37 years old. He passed away Saturday moments after his wedding. Basically, he passed away on his wedding night.
Wow.
That's heavy. That's real heavy.
So
any cause of death?
They don't know the cause of death as of yet. They said he just died in his sleep, is what they're saying.
George, something went through your mind just now when she said that and you shook your head. What was that thought?
George is going to say fentanyl or drugs or threesome or some shit.
It was a setup.
Okay, you know what? Look, our condolences, but dang, I mean, I'm just saying, George
thought it was
You know,
all kind of stuff just played in my head when
this idiot. What he checked out on purpose? What are we talking about here?
uh-huh.
the wife checked him out.
Oh well, he was a country star. Stranger things have happened.
It's either that or God was like, you know what, you about to get done, and I'm about to save you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He passed in his sleep, right? He was in his sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
anyway,
just saying.
the autopsy is going to reveal what happened a little later.
Yeah,
We gotta stay
She
in the
did it.
story.
She did it. She did it for the money.
Crystal, you got any more 411s?
Damn.
She got rich. She got rich in 2 days.
I shouldn't have asked George nothing.
Well, I mean,
also, we wanted to wish Portia Williams and her new husband all the best. Maybe this marriage will be the one that sticks, considering she's wife number 4. And all I can say is, from being a fan of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I liked Portia, but I have mixed feelings about this because she literally stole her friend's husband. Like, literally.
So can I ask you a question? Well, yeah. And I'm not a big reality fan. As a matter of fact, I hate most of this shit, but I do know who she is. Yes. What do you like about her? She's trash.
Well, I mean, just from watching the show and everything, you start to care about the characters or the cast if you watched for a long time.
Fair enough.
So I care, what happens to these ladies. They, are doing their thing, and Portia's no different.
What's this guy do? What's this husband do?
Well, we could say he's rich.
Well, he's been married 4 times, so I just have a very strong feeling that this is just another one bites the dust.
Yeah, he's in real estate.
I mean, I'm just saying, ain't no telling.
Well, the thing is, karma is a bitch. And my thing is this: if you got this man by ill-gotten gains, what makes you think that you're going to be the one to change him? You're going to be the one to break the chain or break the cycle. Just because you're wife number 4 doesn't mean that you're wife number 4 and the only one, because there could be a number 5. He might not be done.
Well, maybe he was waiting for something to come to get out of the situation he was in, and that was it.
That's a really good question. So, I don't know. Wait, do we,
well, my thought.
I have a question. Do we have to go to break first? 'Cause I have a question.
My take on it is you lose them how you get them.
That part.
I'm just saying.
Part.
Would either of you girls entertain that?
Well, see, I wouldn't be messing. You know what? There's a code.
Yeah, I don't mess with a married man or somebody that's got a boyfriend or girlfriend.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about.
But I'm just saying.
Would you be that?
No, of course I couldn't do it. I couldn't see myself doing it.
No.
Which part?
The part of going to my chicks, going to my girlfriend's house, and her husband is there, and we are chilling, and next thing you know, him and I end up together, and she was not a friend. She was not really a friend. She couldn't. How?
Okay. So what about if you didn't know? Could you just be wife number 4? No matter what, you don't know anybody. Maybe the person's done with or what. Could you be wife number 4 even if the individual was rich? He's single. He's not with anybody.
Look, I could be wife number 10. It doesn't matter. What matters is what we got. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. What matters is what we have.
Okay.
But if he was your friends to begin with, then I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah,
to me, that's just wrong. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, no, but he's asking as far as marriage. It's like a woman. It's anyway. I'm just
and the reason I ask is because obviously, if you didn't get it right the first 3 times, let's just be real about it. Now I get it. If you're like, hey, this is a financial contract, say that out the giddy up, and I'm cool. But if you're like, no, we're in love and all that, I'm gonna call bullshit because again, this is someone who clearly doesn't understand what it takes to stay there. So I always wonder about that. Like people like Nick Cannon's retarded ass. Like, why? Who's baby mama number 7? Who signed up for that? I don't care
You
how
mean
much.
11?
Right,
Well,
you mean 11.
no, he only has about 7 of them because he's got multiple with some. That's why. But
Oh.
I don't
But
give a shit who's number 3.
He's got 10 baby mamas.
No, he doesn't. He's got like 7 or 8 because he's got twins with Mariah, and I think he's got another pair of twins. So he doesn't have 11 baby mamas. I don't give a shit. He's got more than 2, 3. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying, other than financial, do you know how selfish that is? You know, you can't be a good parent shit to 4 kids, let alone 11. They don't live together. You're killing me. Come on.
Mm.
But that's why I was asking, like, for people that have been married a lot of times, I always want to know what goes through the mind of the person who's like, I'm going to be wife number 4 or husband number 3 or 4 or 5. Like, unless it's strictly financial, it blows my mind. Who signs up for that? You know, who would sign up for that? So Portia's trash. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, I was trying to look for it, but I can't find it fast enough because he really has a lot of shit going on. So I'll just leave Nick Cannon alone. Nick, boy, do your thing. He said, "Is he an only child? Does anybody know what his?"
I believe maybe. I could be wrong, but I believe he is.
And I'm just saying, if he's an only child, he's probably like, "Look, I am not going to leave this earth without my seed being." You know, he just wanted a big family.
He's really taking the Genghis Khan route on that. But you know, for those of you who don't know, I think it's Genghis. Genghis, like they say, like about 15% of the Earth right now has his DNA. That's how much shagging he did when the Mongols were really trying to take over the whole northern hemisphere. Like Genghis had many mas and more pregnant, but again, this is hit it and quit it. So the reason I think Nick is trash is because he's not going to be able to be a good father to 90% of those kids. Now, if he's like, listen, stepdads, come in and do your thing, and I'll give credit, then I'll big him up. But if he's just like, oh, I've got all these kids, look at me, and there's another rapper, I can't think of who the idiot's name is, that says he wants to have 50 because he's just. And I feel worse for the women and the young ladies that are doing it. Y'all are twice as stupid than he is. Any man that says that's out of his mind anyway. But you know, for the young ladies that come along, I feel bad for them because you know they have to have just a truckload of damage to even want to be in that whole brood and thing like that. So yeah, no respect for Nick on that. I just don't. Smart guy and all that, but he's trash.
Yeah. And I think that Portia's husband, I mean, that's, you know, he's African, so you know those weddings are big. It's not like you're just gonna take somebody to court and be like, okay, I do, and keep it pushing.com.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing big weddings. So you had 4 huge weddings. Maybe going back to the question that you asked earlier, Roger, I might probably have a problem with that because you don't went worldwide with your whole dun 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 dun.
Well, she definitely can't worldwide. And furthermore,
you know,
yeah, I'm thinking, nah.
And I don't know if the others were American / African, or whether they were just Africans and he just had a big African wedding and that was it. But for you to have a big wedding in Africa and a big wedding in America, you know, that's
it's keeping her face in the news. I mean, she doesn't have anything else apparently redeeming about herself. I don't know. It's just keeping her face in the news or something like that because I can't, you know, I would probably be more ashamed of doing that multiple times than not, but you know, that's me.
Yeah.
Like you said, keep it discreet, but why not? You know, she can keep getting guys to do it. I'm really not mad at her for that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So the fact that she has convinced yet another individual to sign that bullshit lease, listen, that's like me selling you a Benz right now with 200,000 miles on it and telling you I need 120K for it and you doing it. So, I mean, good for her. She's the world's best salesman, I guess.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing.
Would never sign that lease. I'd be like, hell no. But, you know, he's got money. He can buy a new one. Wife, that is.
Yes. Well, honey, I think that is probably it for the 411. It's been the longest 411 ever. So thank you guys for allowing me.
Well, we've been 2 weeks out, folks. We've been 2 weeks out. So we needed a cozy catch up and all that. So, you know, I ain't mad.
Yes. So let's go. Who's next?
Roger. It is time for
no, it's really not. We've
How
already
about
talked
the
about it.
Chiefs? Chiefs!
Oh yeah, fitness tips with Roger Hawkins.
Yeah. So that being said, yeah. Well, everybody get beach body ready because you know, the end of the year is upon us. And really, all I really was going to talk about, to be honest, since I haven't gotten to film anything in quite a while because of work, was I was going to talk about the challenge we discussed a couple of weeks ago, and I have heard from some people that they've been kind of doing it and stepping up. So I got to give a shout out because I do know of some people that are definitely handling their biz. I know we talked about that, ladies. Mimi just disappeared because she didn't do the challenge, and so now she wants to run it high, but I ain't taking that shit.
No, she has been doing the challenge.
Uh,
Mimi's been making some headway too. We
Okay,
both have.
well, I'll let her give me the rundown about it. I'll let her give me the rundown about it. But definitely, for real, congrats and big ups to everybody who's out there doing that. I've been trying to do my own thing as well. My girl Crystal from Missouri, same thing. She was on with us a couple of weeks ago. Has been killing the game. I think she's gotten way up there. She's been doing them, I think, every day or just about. So you know what, we're gonna have to start getting some results coming in here, and then maybe have something kind of at the end. We'll have to do another challenge where maybe we kind of do another giveaway or something like that because this is important to me. And again, I mean, I'm proud for and of everyone that's doing it, no matter what your progress is, because we all go through periods where we go back and forth and all that. So stay the course, folks. Stay the course. That being said, um, any questions or anything, any variation or variety that people want to add to it, hit me up. Let me know because I know sometimes it gets hard doing the same thing, but we can kind of mix things up. And I am going to do something for Mimi asked me about it a while ago. So we're gonna work on some more cardio stuff later on. We haven't gotten to it. I've been a bum. JJ asked what's the challenge. So for those who weren't with us a few weeks ago, actually, the challenge was more or less about just kind of starting. We were doing like push up, sit up, and just standing squat, using resistance and gravity, not necessarily weight unless you choose to. But I was just saying, start with. I prefer you start with 5, but if you can start with 1 a day. If you can get up to start with 5, start, but add 1 every day subsequently. So day 1, 1 push up, 1 sit up, 1 squat. You get the message. Day 2, 2, 2, 2. If you can start with 5, that's great. I know push-ups can be difficult, like certain other exercises that kind of isolate one part of your body. So do what you can, but add to it subsequently. And we just kind of wanted to do it for 30 days and just to check our results every single day because you'd be amazed. It feels like not a lot, but by the time you get about 2/3 of the way through, there's a very real change in you. I mean, even if you don't see the super transformation that you think, you should feel it, and you will definitely have gained more strength and endurance, believe it or not. So that's why. And again, never too late to start. You can start yesterday, you can start tomorrow, but don't do the whole I'm going to wait till January 1st. Going to wait till Monday. Today, right now, tomorrow. Because we like to do that whole beginning of the week, blah blah blah, and all it does is give you another reason to push it out of your mind. Um, that being said, like I said, I would love to, have accountability checks with people. Hell, we can even Zoom or whatever and do them together. I mean, I'm open to a lot of different things because I just want people to step out of this year and into the next one and the subsequent one, on a good foot. It's not, I don't make New Year's resolutions, so don't ask me because I don't. I resolve every year not to make resolutions, and I keep that one all the time. But when it comes to something like this, lifestyle wise, you can fit it in, and it really, really goes a long way. So, anyway, that's that. Any questions about it? And because we're getting close to the 30-day mark anyway, but any questions about it or any additions you want to do, by all means, let's talk about it.
Okay, and shout out to Christelle Lankford. She says, I do threes. I'm up to 31. Sore as hell. Cardio
Oh
at
shit!
Broke
Watch
and
out now. Watch yourself now. See.
Oh,
So yeah. So we
just doing the
like I
damn
said,
thing. So I had to start my challenge by not eating as much as I normally eat.
there you go.
So the first thing for me was cutting back on the amount of food that I eat, the amount of drinking that I do. Not like I'm some alcoholic, but when you drink 2-3 times a week, anyway, not just on Wednesdays, shit happens. So alcohol definitely packs on sugar and calories. That's not a good thing.
It does.
So I've scaled back a little bit from Coke, drinking more water, and eating less per day. So I just figured
There you
that
go.
I'll start a little bit on the other side versus just working out, because sometimes no matter how much you work out, if you're eating the same and doing the same stupid shit, you're not going to get any results. So I figured,
Right.
you know what, I'm gonna scale back on doing the dumb shit, and then I'll start working out.
Hey,
And
but you know what? You can do them, jointly and things like that. But it is a
I
little bit
know
at a time.
I'm gonna start tomorrow. Okay.
Famous last words. But all right. At least it ain't Monday. So okay.
It's Thursday. It's a wacky day of the week. It's not a Monday. It's not a Friday, and it's not
Right.
a
No, for
December
sure.
1st. Oh, it is December 1st. Oh, look at that. See, so I'll be working out throughout Christmas.
So right
oh,
there
tomorrow
you
is December 1st.
Yes, it
there you
is.
go.
Where she is, it's December 1st
It's
already.
December 1st now.
Oh, wow.
There
Happy
you go.
holidays.
Huh? Yeah. Holidays are coming up, sure.
Yeah, you know what? My mom sent me. My mom left me a message, and her message was on the Happy Holidays type thing, and I was just like, come on, like that's not even till late, like, in a couple weeks.
No, I mean depends on who you ask. I mean, people look at Halloween, Thanksgiving, like it's kind of the holiday season once you get beyond Labor Day. So there's that. I mean,
Oh well.
right. I'm just
Well, I
saying.
look at holiday season after Thanksgiving because then you jump right into Christmas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
You jump right into Christmas immediately. That's why the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, the
Yeah.
first Christmas shopping days of the year,
no, they just do that because they know black people gonna spend all their money.
and then Monday is Cyber Monday,
Mhm.
It's a black thing.
Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Must be. Mhm.
It's all good.
Must be. Yeah. So I mean, we in there, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, I know we didn't get a chance to talk last week and things like that, but just real quick, our boys are still kind of rolling along. The Chiefs, that is, still rolling along. So, couple of injuries here and there, but all in all, not looking too bad. So we've got Cleveland coming up. We'll see what happens because it's getting to be that new season, as it were. After the new year and trying to get into the playoffs and all that. So it's going to get interesting because people are going to be picking up players, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll keep our eye on the guys as well, and we'll get back with that after the game this week and see how everybody's making out.
Sounds like a plan.
What are we 8-2 now? Something like that. Not bad.
Yep.
Not bad. I'll be in Houston in a couple of weeks for the game against the Texans, so I may get some footage if I'm, if I'm in the right state of mind. I'll try to get some fan and fun footage while I'm down there with my boy.
Nice.
And it's
Yeah.
9-2.
9-2, right? 9-2. Sure.
We are number one in the conference.
As we should be.
See,
I think we've got the second best record in the league, but yeah, number one in our conference. So
yeah, we do. We have actually, we're tied with Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota did lose, didn't they? So we are tied now. They've got 2 L's. So,
We're
okay.
tied. So the league standings, is we're second place and Minnesota's third.
Who's first?
Hello, Philly.
I forgot all about Philly, but you're right. That boy.
Yeah.
I forgot. You're right. Clearly,
I couldn't believe they lost that game the other day. I was like, wow.
You're right.
There went their perfect streak.
Right. So yeah, I say this every year. There will not be an undefeated team until the last of the 72 Dolphins dies. I am not joking. I'm just dead ass serious. Watch. The minute the last guy bucks to kick it, all of a sudden somebody's gonna be undefeated. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's always a team that shouldn't beat you. They go, oh man, what? They lost to Hogan High School. What the hell happened? It's like the curse, man. You can't win until all the 72 Dolphins are gone. I'm telling you.
Right.
So anyway. So yeah, that's about it though. That's all we got for now. I'm gonna have to do better, but we're gonna be working on some good footage here in the near future. Trust and believe that, folks. We got some things planned for you. So we're just gonna ride the year out, clowning a little bit, and then we'll get back on it.
Okay.
Definitely.
CB,
All
what
right.
you got?
Well, it is time for us to take a station break. So we will be back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey everybody, it's me, CB. Join us every Wednesday for your Midweek Motivator, offering you conversation, motivation, music, laughter, and a whole lot of fun. So tune in. Let's talk. Join us as we shake things up and talk things out. CB and the boys. Join us for your Midweek Motivation. See ya.
불타오르네. I'ma make you pump like that. 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 Jack like that.
Hey everybody, let's get together and feel alright with CB and the Boys radio show. Join us every Wednesday for your Midweek Motivator, offering you music, conversation, motivation, laughter, and a whole lot of fun. One love.
All right. And we are
Hey.
back.
Everybody got caught off guard. East, West.
Right. Oh, geez.
All right. So another film came out this past week called Bones and All. And
Now, let's check out the movies with Crystal C.B. Booker.
So, as I was saying, another film came out over this past week called Bones and All. And I went to see that. And all I can say is it's a film starring Timothy Chalamet, newcomer Taylor Russell, also Mark Rylonka, Chloe Sevigny, Michael Stolberg, and Madeline Hall. There are just really no words to describe this. It's about a girl played by Taylor Russell named Marin, and she has a condition, shall we say,
Mm.
where she eats people. Um, when you first see this film, just know that it's an hour and a half of your life that you won't get back. um, it's based off of a novel of the same name, Bones and All, and it's just very strange.
Mm.
It's it's just very strange. I'm like, the film would be fine just without the cannibalism, because I really don't see why or how
Were
it's
you
played.
expecting? Were you expecting the movie to be that when you went to see it?
Well, when you see the trailer for it,
Oh.
it shows it like a horror film for the most part, because you see, blood and stuff in the trailer, and it looks like, murder in the trailer. So you're thinking, okay, horror film, cool. But it's a love story about these two people who have the same condition. They find themselves.
They eat
And
each
it
other.
was
The nationality of these individuals. No, don't even answer that.
What? Why it always gotta be about that? Why it always gotta be about that?
No, it's not, Puerto Ricans,
well, it's more of a love story for the most part. And when you think about the film, after you've watched it and you have time to process what you've just seen, and let me tell you, it takes a minute to process what you've just seen. But there are so many different symbolisms in the film. Like, for one, addiction, because they have to eat people for whatever reason. Nothing was explained. We don't know how the condition came about, why they are that way, why they eat people. They just feel compelled to do it. So they just
like
leaves
snatch
with,
people off the street and eat them up.
yeah, they leave you with more questions after watching the film than you had before watching the film. And for me, I hate films like that, because I like resolution when I watch a movie. If it's supposed to be a cliffhanger, like, for example, Lord of the Rings, you're pissed off after watching Lord of the Rings because you want to know what's going to happen next, because you're just enthralled and you're ready. This film does not leave you wanting more. This film leaves you wondering when the hell it's going to be over and what the whole point of it is. And the way it ends, I'm not going to give anything away, but let's just say you'll be pissed off. You'll be sitting there waiting for something else to happen, and it won't. It's done. That's it. There won't be a sequel. There won't be a series. But surprisingly, this film is getting good reviews. I don't know what movie these people saw, but it is getting good reviews. And I think because of the symbolism, because you can look at it as addiction, for example, or another symbolism would be, finding love. And another symbolism, I mean, it's full of different symbolisms within the film. But the biggest takeaway for me is that it's all about choices, because in the end, they had choices. You didn't know it. You don't understand how, but they had choices. And it was just a very strange film. That's all I can say. It's very strange.
We're gonna miss that one. Okay.
Of 5 popcorn bags, I would give it a 1, maybe a 2 for the symbolism, because you do have different theories and thoughts about it. But for the most part, wait till it comes on Netflix or whatever streaming service you watch.
Or not.
Don't pay $10. You'll be angry. You'll be very angry. I was angry. I was like, this is it.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry.
Right. And very seldom do I give a bad movie review, but I'm sorry, guys, but I wouldn't waste my money. To be honest, I wouldn't. And surprisingly, I would be shocked if it won't get nominated for an Oscar, which it's getting good reviews. So more than likely, it just might. I don't see how. I really don't. it makes me want to,
It's
call
probably
him
been
up.
it's probably been reviewed by the same people that reviewed Blair Witch Project.
There you go.
Right, there's that.
It was, man. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Now the special effects in it, I have to admit, the special effects were pretty good, but that's about it. I'm like,
That's a
there's
little
really
easier
not much
to
to
do
say.
now than it used to be. So it's kind of like, I mean, that clearly that can't save it. So it's like, that's cool.
No, there's no saving that one. No. Bless you, honey.
There you go.
All right. Also, since the last time we were on, the last business tip I gave was about finding your niche. And to double back on that, just to recap, if people have forgotten what exactly a niche is, it's a comfortable or suitable position in life or employment. It specializes in a segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service, denoting products, services, or interests that appeal to a small, specialized section of the population. So basically, a niche is something that you do well. For example, some people knit very well. You can make a business out of knitting, crocheting, knitting scarves, gloves, things of that nature. So there are so many different things in which to build your business around. Now, one of the things that I definitely would recommend that you at least explore building your business around the big three or the big four, basically. And that is sports and fitness. Golf is very big in the niche. A lot of people, someone has created an ebook about golf tips. So there's so many different things that you can do in the sports realm. Also, health and wellness. Everyone these days is definitely on the health kick. Different herbs, different things you can do, different remedies that you can do, different things that you've been taught through the years that you can compile into an ebook or share your experiences with people. So that niche is very big. And then also love and relationships is also very big. Everyone's looking for love, all the wrong places. So maybe you have a remedy for finding lost love or things that you can do. So, and also money and wealth, because let's face it, as we've been told, we're in a recession and everyone is looking for ways to make money online. And next week, I will give you some ideas as far as ways that you can make money online, because the internet is the information highway, but it is also your path to wealth. So next week, we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, go ahead and once again, as we talked about before, just find your niche. Once you find your niche, then you begin to build, plan on what your next move is going to be, and we will talk about it.
Production of James Cameron's
So, I've been looking at this for a while because so I just want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really interesting how the Blair Witch Project was a $60,000 budget film, but they grossed over worldwide $248 million.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how awesome that is?
Yeah.
Amazing. And they use an iPhone, I think, to film it.
And it was the stupidest movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
It was just a dumbass movie.
I think if you base anything on urban lore, on like something that's supposed to be true, it draws people in anyway because they're like, oh, I heard that's where it happened. I heard this is really anything based on reality. People are going to be a little more invested in because the whole shaky camcorder thing, not an iPhone, but a camcorder. I'm sorry, but anyway, the whole shaky camcorder thing had everybody going, oh, it's like we're there, even though it gave people freaking vertigo and shit to watch the movie. I heard,
right.
I mean. It's just one of those. You just have to. If you can get it, I tell people all the time. If I can get you in here, this is next. The rest will follow. You get people invested mentally and emotionally, and it doesn't matter that you had that shoestring budget. So I mean, that was a huge, thing for them to do, especially back when they did it. You know, this was a long time ago before iPhones that could film like red cameras and all of that. So, but yeah, I missed that one. I'm going to miss this one too. So,
right.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like that other movie, Snow. Was it Snow in the something in the Bluff? Snow on the Bluff.
I'm a warm weather guy. I don't care.
I haven't heard that one.
I'm tropical, baby. I'm tropical.
No, Snow in the Bluff was just. It wasn't Snow in the Bluff. It was just really like these guys, these thug ass guys here in the hood here in Atlanta, and they had stole a couple's camera and they just started recording the crimes that they were committing with the couple's camera. And the thing made so much freaking money, and then the guy ended up doing something stupid and ended up going to prison. I was like,
well, you know, that's kind of like art imitating life, because like George was mentioning earlier with the whole ankle bracelet and all that, these people are so thirsty and desperate for attention. They actually tell on themselves over and over again with these damn going live and cameras and media feeds. It's amazing. Like you can be the most incompetent of policemen and detectives and solve crimes now because these dumbasses telling themselves all the time. You know, that just goes to show how, boy, that that attention, boy, those attention whores, every time it'll get you. So that probably, you know, that strikes a chord with people. Oh yeah, let's film ourselves doing dumb shit. Cool. You're easy to find. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So there's that, you know.
Yeah.
Stupid, but it happens all the time.
That's all right. We're 16 days away from the day I'm waiting for.
Do tell. Other than I'm going to be in Houston. What?
Avatar 2.
Oh yes, that is coming out. Yes, it sure is.
Yes, I look forward to that because I really like the first one.
Yeah,
I did too, but it was long as hell, and they took so long in between. I lost interest in wanting to see it, so I'll probably catch that one whenever. Because again, the first one has been on a lot, and they've been playing it, but I can't see me going and sitting for the next one now. It's been too long. I don't like when people wait like 5, 7, 29 years in between. It's like, you lost me. So
it takes a long time because those costumes ain't no joke, you know.
Oh, I believe that.
The casting and of those.
Well, first of all, there's CGI in that, so I call bullshit on that. Normally, Mimi, you would be right, but there's CGI and all of that, so
yeah.
It's just they just took forever to do it. It's kind of like, I mean, I know it's going to be big budget. We know that much, but I'm kind of over it at this point. I'm sure it'll be good. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good, but yeah, I'll probably wait. You know, American attention span ain't that long.
Of course. So, Crystal, what we got?
George.
George is kind of is in his own world over there sometimes, you know.
George is getting antsy.
No, this I was pulling this preview up, and it
just decided to come on.
It comes on automatically when it's like, it pisses me off when it does that sometimes.
Did you want to play it while we're like about to go to channels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Well,
Avatar sequels have finally begun revealing what they've been up to for the past decade, and it could very well change the future of filmmaking. It's been such a long time since director James Cameron came out with his box office-breaking, technologically innovating Big Blue Alien movie Avatar. Like me, you might have been very excited at the prospect of a sequel on the horizon, but at this point, I don't think any of us thought it was going to come out. But as we start to look elsewhere, Cameron pulls the rug out from under us saying, "Here, look at these new screenshots, new technology, industry-shaking innovation, and you know what? He could be onto something." Let's dive into the innovations behind Avatar 2 and why it could change movies forever. A quick recap: James Cameron's Avatar, that one was the 2009 epic science fiction film about humans colonizing a new planet called Pandora. Our main character Jake ends up becoming the savior of the local populace, the Na'vi, from his own people and their greedy colonialist ways. I wonder where I've heard that before.
Okay, we're not gonna watch that whole thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if I've heard that before.
I was almost enjoying the previews because I almost forgot the movie, you know? Okay, I'll watch it on my own.
This is Mimi for you.
Crystal.
Also, I wanted to thank our 54 subscribers. We are up to 54 subscribers since we started our YouTube channel. So everyone, thank you for your subscribership.
I'll drink to that.
Now our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So everyone listening to the sound of my voice, hear me out. We want and need your help to get us to that 1,000 subscribership. And we're going to be pushing it hard and long. So get ready, because this is going to be
hard and long. Okay.
Yes, this is going to be intense. But if you can help us reach our 1,000 subscriber, the 1,000 subscriber, we will give a special prize.
George is doing a striptease for you.
We will give a special prize to the 1,000th subscriber. So everyone, please. So when you subscribe, leave a message in the comments to let us know that you've done so. We will count them up. The 1,000th subscriber will be our winner. And you're going to love what you're going to win. So just start subscribing. Send our links to your friends, your family, everybody. So just subscribe. Help us bring you more. And in order to do that, we have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. So everyone, help us get to 1,000. And we got you. You're going to love it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Hey, whoever's number 1,000, I'm telling you, boy, y'all don't even know what y'all got coming. Hey,
gonna have some
like
jang-a-lang.
Y'all understand, boy? That's the world renowned jang-a-lang. When he gets going.
So just make sure you subscribe, leave a message in the comments, and let us know you've done so. From here on out, we'll count those up, and number 1,000, you win the grand prize, and you don't want to miss that.
Jang-a-lang. There's gonna be some smoke in the city, baby. Smoke in the city. Jang-a-lang.
Where are we gonna do that giveaway at in Kansas City?
Soon as we hit that motherfucker 1K, we hit that millennium mark, boys, on and jerking. George is gonna break out the bow tie. He's taking out his sash out of the retirement. His own is swinging. That's all I'm telling y'all.
Stop playing. Time out for Roger. I love it.
It wasn't me, man.
All right. So
don't be like that, man. Don't be like that.
We have 30 minutes for our topic tonight. And the topic is, who got the hookup? So if you got the hookup, say you have a car dealership, Raj, and I come and buy a car from you.
You got to ask the question, Mama. You got to ask the question. So the topic for tonight is, why do people of color feel entitled to the hookup?
Okay. We in there. Okay.
So let's go. Go ahead, Mama.
Finish.
All right. So I automatically expect that you're going to hook me up, Raj.
You came to the right place.
But my thing is, say, Ted or Bob down the street.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute. We got to take a pause for the cause right quick. JJ over there talking smack. I was going to unsubscribe and then resubscribe until you said the winner is Jang-a-lang.
Oh, my God. Stop us for that shit. Hey, my fault, G. My fault, dog. Hey, the legend precedes himself. George's reputation precedes him. So,
This ain't going to be Jang-a-lang. Oh, my gosh. It's about to be on. Where the Jang-a-lang t-shirts at? We got to get that merch going. Hashtag Jang-a-lang.
I'm mad at that, dog. They doing this shit now. It's not me.
Somebody text me how you spell that. I'll put it on a t-shirt. J-A Galang.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my
So
gosh, I love it.
anyway,
You love it.
All right. So say Bob down the block
okay.
who has Bob Jawowski's Chevrolet. So if I go to Bob Jawowski's Chevrolet, I'm not expecting a hookup. I'm going to pay whatever Mr. Bob has there. But Raj, if I come to your, Raj's car flavors, then, then I already know I'm gonna get a good deal. Why do you think that is?
You know what? It's funny. We're laughing, but that's true. Sadly, because we have not been conditioned by our own respective cultures to, actually give each other enough respect and credit to say, you know what, you're legitimate in what you do.
Yes.
And I want to pay you what you're worth because, unfortunately, we've all been around where people are always trying to find a way to. And I give us credit for creativity, people of color, because we have to at times, but that's not an excuse. You get to a certain point and you have to give that up. Because see, at Bob's and Biff's and Harry's and all that, they don't expect to do anything except pay what something's worth. They don't have a problem doing that. Unfortunately, they do tend to have a little more, I'll call it disposable income or access to it. But you know what? We can't make that an excuse. We have access to a lot of things just like that too. You may have to do your work and due diligence, but we have access. And it's just unfortunately we can't get out of that mindset. It's really a mindset. Oh man, I only got this much. Let me get that. You come in there. I've got my buddy, my best friend right now works. He manages a chain, and people are always coming in there short on purpose. Like, oh, hook me up, hook me up. It doesn't matter if it's 20 cents or $20. We're always like, hook me up, and that's just. I think it's ingrained. It's a cultural thing, which is why a lot of people of color don't open businesses in neighborhoods of color unless it's a damn liquor store or a check cashing or a pawn shop or a chicken joint, and then we all too happy to go give it to you. So it's conditioning that needs to be undone and relearned. It's a conditioning thing. But me personally, no hookups. I ain't hooking up friend, family, foe. No hookups.
But I think that and I think we've all been on the receiving end of this, when you go to a function that is for us, by us, what do we get? Fuckery.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Agreed. I think it's what you're used to or not used to, and that's not an excuse. I hate excuses, but you get what I'm saying. If you grow up being let's say for instance, let's just look at typical etiquette. Believe it or not, there is a huge amount of people that don't understand the whole table setting.
Yes.
Which fork is for salad, which knife is for actual butter and or steak, which spoon is for soup. You understand how many people don't do that because they never had to, or they were never put in the position to. So now if you take something that can be considered, I wouldn't say trivial, but pretty minute, now multiply that. Oftentimes we don't take vacations. We don't get to do things a lot of people get to do. We don't we're not privy to a lot of that information. That's not an excuse because what you really do is you go out and you educate yourself, but you can't practice what you don't know. And so naturally, when you're not used to, you're usually robbing Peter to pay Paul. Let me borrow this. Let me stretch that dollar. So you don't have excess, which means when you want something that's probably out of your price range. The only thing we know how to do is haggle. Let me haggle for it. That's okay at times. But it's not okay when you're going to a legitimate business to go, hey, you got 20,000 sticker price. Well, let me get that for 10. That's the kind of shit we do. We do insulting things because you can't afford it, but you want it. I've seen a lot of really, really interesting clips and posts of historical figures speaking on this kind of stuff. And I tell you what, it's sad and it's embarrassing because it's true. And unfortunately, we have to relearn and re-educate ourselves and teach our children. So I spend a lot of time talking to my kids and to any of my friends who listen when it comes to retraining ourselves on how to think about money. We work to add bills. A lot of other cultures don't do that. They pool their resources and they get one at a time until everybody has one: a house, a vehicle, a business. We are the only group of people that don't do that shit. We talk about it, we complain, we play victim. And so this is why the minute one person actually makes it out and starts doing well, everybody collectively goes and goes, "Ah, man, you made it, you made it. Hook me up, help me get there." You didn't do what they did to get there, but you want the
Yes.
hook up. Everybody wants to, everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to be rich. Nobody wants to do what it takes to be rich. That's a lot of long hours, a lot of sacrifice. Nobody wants to do that, but they want to latch on. We have to get rid of that mentality. And that starts in the home. And unfortunately, we have a lot of parents that didn't know how to teach that. So you've got a generational curse. So that hookup shit, it's a generational curse, believe it or not. We're kind of joking about it a little bit, but the truth be told, it's not funny. You have to break that curse individually in your own home. And a lot of us, are struggling with that.
That is so true. But don't you find it really peculiar, and not even for peculiar, but just mind blowing how people who have never been slaves, I've never been a slave, you've never been a slave, but some of those people, we still have that same slave-like mentality where you see, you trust the white man, but you don't trust the black man.
That's a condition. Yeah,
It
you're
is.
right.
It is a condition. It really is.
Condition. And when I tell people, listen, we all have relatives that have that air quote slave mentality, and it sucks because you don't want to offend or hurt, Nana's feelings or auntie or uncle's feelings, but so much of how we operate is deeply rooted in the conditioning that our slave ancestors were done, and we can't get out of that. And this country doesn't do anything to help you with that. They listen. The 2%ers need the 98% to keep that mentality so that they can do all the work, so that they can sit back and fat cat. Once you learn how to get outside of that box and operate on that different level, you'll never see the world the same. But it takes getting there, and it takes understanding money, and it takes understanding position. I think I say things to my children I never thought I would have ever said before, I got to be a certain age, when it comes to things like college, families, finances, because they're things I was taught a very, very, what we consider traditional, but slave way of thinking. You toe the line, you straight and narrow, you don't get out of place, you handle your business. Yeah, you know why? Because I am footing someone else's bill. When I think outside of that is when you start to understand money, taxes, investment, how to grow everything that you have. Any seed you plant, you have to grow for yourself, not for someone else. And once you understand that, you're never going to be able to look at that mentality. But you know what? That gets really, really uncomfortable and sticky, because unfortunately, there's a direct correlation between practice religion, heavily, deeply rooted religion, and post-secondary education.
Right.
And the two are converses. The more you have of one, usually the less you have of the other. And it doesn't mean you're unintelligent. It just means your way of thinking is very, very skewed to that particular way of life. And that's very beneficial to the powers that be if you maintain that slave mind. And so to get outside of that box is uncomfortable for a lot of people. And a lot of people completely fight against it because it's scary. It's uncomfortable. Everything that I was shown or taught, you're telling me that I can go a different route and be okay. That blows people away, especially older people of color, because think about it. Negro spirituals and all that kind of faith and thing got a lot of people through the toughest times. And if that's what got them through, they passed it on to their children. Well, we're at a point now where guess what? You're not going to screw me over and think I'm going to go out in my car and sing. That shit ain't going to happen. It's a different day, but I have to thank them for putting me on their back. But now that there's a different way to approach that.
Yeah, it's mind over matter because, the great Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he said, don't say, I can't afford it. Instead, say, how can I afford it? And that's powerful. Just changing your whole way of thinking towards money, towards finances. And things do turn around and they do change, but it definitely, your mind is a powerful thing. Sometimes the only thing that's blocking us from our blessings is
Well,
us.
but you've heard the term also? Okay, so I'll go back to the things that a lot of us were taught. That whole faith without works is dead. So there's a
I'm
difference.
not going there, but
Wait, but there's a difference. But see, saying mind over matter is pretty much the same thing, or they're kissing cousins in that you can say that, but it's like what we talked about earlier with the challenge. If you don't have the discipline to do that, then it's just talk. If I sit with my favorite box of cereal in the house and go, I'm not going to eat that whole box for the week, and then it's gone in a day, I don't have discipline because I know I can access it, so I'm not disciplined. But if I decide to myself, you know what, I'm absolutely going to refrain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'm going to step in. That's when you're training yourself to be more disciplined. It's the same thing with your finances. Some people, okay, so I was reading a quote by Dame Dash because, of course, in the wake of this Kanye and Kyrie bullshit, I mean, they've just fallen victim to some of the things that a lot of other people had before them. But long story short, Dame Dash, before Rockefeller and all that, said he spoke with some Jewish businessmen, and they said, we call you black people liquid money. And he said, why? He said, because much like a person trying to get water in their hand, the water just runs through your fingers. You can't hold on to it. He said, that's how black people are with money. He goes, money just seems to just run through your fingers, and the minute you get it, you love to give it to people that are non-black. So we call you people liquid money. He said that blew his mind. Do you know that shit blew my mind? And he heard this years ago, but I just read it like about a week ago, and I've kept a hold of that ever since because it's true. It's 100% true. We all know that one person who's very, very Afrocentric. They're all about keeping it black and things like that, and I appreciate them. Buy black products, buy and support your own, which is something we don't do. We can have products way better because we don't have the propaganda behind us. We don't have the advertisement for whatever reason. Even though we're like, yo, do stuff is great, we don't support our own. And so I try to make it a point to if I believe in the product, don't get me wrong. We've all worked with some shady folks like, damn, you make us look bad. But we've also worked with some really, really good people. And you go, you know what? I would constantly work with you if I could. I like to have a good reputation in my business. And so I do what I do. And I think we all do. But people say that and don't really mean it. So that being said, once again, if you think about that, but guess what? If you ever said boycott, whatever, since 99.9% of everything is owned by not us, we can't do what King and them did in the 60s. We can't do that. We don't have the unity to support one another and take. Do you know? I also read that if we collected as a nation, just black consumers would equal, I think, the sixth or ninth largest nation on the planet, just with our buying power in numbers. That's how much we contribute to the global economy for no thanks. Because we're too happy. We're all too happy to give Jeff Bezos money, Zuckerberg money, Nike money, everybody else. But if I come out with a brand, y'all are going to want me to give everybody free samples and want everybody to talk about it. Everybody's going to wear my shit on their back and all that. And you be like, what'd you pay for it? Oh, I got this at the concert. See, there's a problem. Because we have been taught to be adversarial and compete against each other instead of help boost each other up. If all three of us get together and we go, okay, we got to make it a point to get Mimi rich first. We're going to all push Mimi's brand. Then when Mimi gets to be rich, Mimi's going to turn around and pour into George's company. Then George gets rich. You see what I mean?
Right.
Other cultures can do that. We don't trust each other enough to do it because we usually try to take our money at the front door and dip. And they go, y'all on your own. And this is why we have the bad reputation we have. And there are plenty of us that think the way that I'm talking in the way that you guys believe, but there are just too many that don't. It's just the truth. Hence, give me the hookup. Hence, what's in it for me? And once I get mine, I'm gone. Like all of that shit. That shit's true. It's not racist if it's always true. Until we can prove differently, we're just going to talk about and complain and be mad. That's why I don't really get into the discussion with people. I go, okay, you'll see by my actions that first of all, no, you're not getting the hookup. When I got to pay somebody to help to do things, I pay them. When I do a job, I expect my money. You can't give me a
Right.
portion.
You see what
of
Trey
it.
said? Trey said hook themselves up with a job.
And you know what? If you don't want to quote unquote work for the white man, start your own company, because that's what we used to do. We love talking about how talented we are as a people, how gifted, talented, wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And we are the most talent wasting, money spending sons of bitches on the planet. So we're really just bragging about a bunch of nothing. You can't impress me by talking about how good we are and all that shit. I've been black my whole life. I know how talented we are. And I know how many people right now still live at the same address they grew up in, probably yelling upstairs to their mama to ask them where their shirt is because they didn't want to be uncomfortable and put forth a little extra effort. Get your ass out there and get some. So Trey, I know I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Growth is not being comfortable. Any kind of growth, financial growth, physical growth, that shit's not comfortable. But guess what? Nobody runs with me when it's cold or when it's too hot or when it's raining or when they don't want to. Nobody is going to go to work with you and write that stuff, read and review, but you. Nobody goes over those numbers. So
Roger, I'll run when it's hot, when it's raining.
you like the heat. See, people say that, but boy, listen.
You know what? You gotta dress according to. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you know it's gonna be hot. Then you put on your little tank top and your little speedos and your sneakers and just go.
I takes it back to Mother Africa. I runs damn near naked. It's cool. I'm fine with that. Like I said, whatever my motivation is. Listen, I'm from the Midwest where the humidity is hella high, and then I moved to the desert where the heat's hella high. Heat doesn't bother me. I'll run when I run when the devil's sitting in the shade drinking iced tea. I don't give a shit. I got to get mine in. So
right.
Exactly. But
Wow.
I mean, it's motivation. You have to look. I'm going to stay up late tonight studying when we get done. Nothing that I want to do because I have to work in the morning. But guess what? I'm not going to get ahead. The people that are ahead are not sleeping.
Yes.
And so when I do encounter, and so I am going to say what a lot of us say, but I mean it. You can fact check me. I support anybody worth supporting, but I definitely support my own, which is why you always see me over here promoting my homegirl's liquor brand and all that. First of all, I believe in it. You know me, I'm a connoisseur. If I believe in it, I believe in it. My man Trey, I support black business. I do too. The problem is there's a lot of bootleg shit out there too. Everybody wants to make their money today and leave and run, and then you make it bad on the rest of us. We've all been burned, but that can't detract. It can't deter you. Don't be deterred by that one person. Take the person who's worth it, and because you know what, that's literally my entire household at this point. Minus my youngest. We all look. I would have never believed that because growing up, I was taught to go to college, get a job, save your money, 401k, retire. That's bullshit. I don't even teach my kids that, and they're all smarter than I am and was at that age, and I was fairly intelligent. And I told each and every one of them that doesn't have to be your path, and I'm fine with that. And they'll probably be better off by 30 than I was.
Right.
Which you know what I'm saying, and that's because we're going non-traditional.
Yes.
I don't want anybody else paying Uncle Sam back the way I have to. So. So all that being said, quit asking for the damn hookup. Shit. Pay what people are worth, man. Pay it. Y'all pay Nike. Y'all don't ask anybody else except for each other for the hookup. If you love your brother.
I have been asked on several occasions lately to write. Mimi, can you write the script for me? Nobody wants to pay for a script to be written. But if the white man, right, comes and say, hey, it's going to cost you $69 to $154 to $250,000 to write the script, you know what you're going to do? You're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Well,
where the problem comes in.
But that's brainwashing. We've been conditioned to
Crazy.
believe that white is right. Now, listen, I have quite a few Caucasian brethren in my camp, and they know I'm every bit as racist as anybody's going to be. I love my guys. I do. I love my
Yes.
people. They know that they ain't shit, just like I do. For the ones who are, fantastic. But they understand what their people are about. But the thing is, they are very, very good at convincing the world that, listen, it's all right because it's all white. You believe that shit. And it's funny because, you know, I've even heard comedians say to white people, would you trust white people? I mean, come on, man. But here's the deal. I'm not mad if you understood how to pin whip somebody. But that being said is, how dare you insult me and
Yes.
my quality? My
Yes.
time is money. My time is money just like yours is. And you know,
Yes.
I learned that years ago when I was a personal trainer. Guess what everybody wanted to do? Dog, write me a workout plan, write me a meal plan. You know, I did that for like 2 years because I loved everybody. You know how
Yeah.
many people stuck with that shit in 2 years? And I'm talking about I did dozens.
Hardly any. One. That's
Yep.
crazy.
No, two. Two of my teammates. One of them passed away. He's a good friend of mine named Henry Kane. He played ball in Arkansas. Um, Two guys. One of them was my white brother, and one was a black brother. Two of my football brothers, and they are the only two people that ever listened, paid attention, showed up at the gym, did what I told them. Cause we played ball together, and they did very well. Dozens of people. I used to write that shit out. It was all neat every single day, and then I thought to myself, what kind of fool am I? I'm giving all this away because people, you know, you my boy, my brother, I love you. Don't do that. Your time is
Right.
valuable.
That's
Your time is valuable. We can barter because, you know, if you need something, I'm gonna take care of you.
Right. Of course.
But I'm not just gonna be throwing shit to you for free. Like
No.
what's that's the problem. My time is money. My time is very valuable. I don't even
And
have a lot.
we gotta stick to that. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And stick to it. Because the minute we go, oh, well, I'll do it for you, but I won't do it for you, then that's where we go south.
Look, I don't even
That's gonna be a subject for another day. You already know.
Hey, listen.
The guys, we got 4 minutes.
Yes.
So let's wrap it up, say our goodbyes, and
Okay, so
move
look,
it
y'all,
on.
I'm starting a lemonade stand. I need everybody to come and support because, like, remember, we support our own. George is doing a peep show, so he's gonna be butt naked with a tool belt on a motorcycle. So come see his show. He's about to mute me. Fuck you. He's about to mute me.
Oh,
Wow.
oh my God. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, okay? Look, one love, God bless. You guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mimi Acosta here, as always. We'll be here, and I'll see you guys next week. Shout out and one love to Trey, to JJ, to who else? To Richard Smith, to who else? Who else was on here?
Crystal Langford.
Yes, to Crystal. So you guys, one love. See you guys next week. You guys tune in, subscribe, share, and let's move it forward.
That's what's up. Appreciate y'all. It's good to be back after a little bit of a hiatus. We're going to probably start doing more supporting of Black businesses, but business in general. I mean, if you have a friend or relative or whoever that's worth shouting out, we're not going to keep it strictly, but you know what I'm saying. I got to take care of home, but by all means, guys, we're going to probably start doing that more because we need more up and comers to get exposure. So that's my piece. I'm out. Take care of yourself.
Hey. George.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Peace, love, and stripper grease.
Oh, Lord. All right. Thank you so much for rocking with us tonight, everybody. You've been listening to CB and the Boys, those that have just joined. We come to you every Wednesday for your midweek motivation. Hopefully you received that motivation. We have for you music, motivation, conversation, laughter, and a whole lot of fun. So hopefully you received all of that and then some tonight. We'll be again, we'll talk tonight. We'll be back next week with a whole new topic and a whole new 411 by the lovely Mimi. So everyone look forward to that. And you can check us out at cbandtheboys.org. You can also Check us out wherever podcasts are: Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, every podcast platform. Check us out. We're there. But really, George. So thank you guys so much. And we will see you back next week. Same time, same station. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like us. And remember the 1,000